There we go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I know that we're gonna still have some more people jumping on here, but I like to start right on time so we don't waste anybody's time. If this is your first Zoom call with our team or with any team, let me just first say welcome. We're super excited that you've taken time out of your night on this Tuesday evening to join us. And we are pumped about this call. My name is Amber Livesey. I am one half of the Slim Sisters team. If you guys are on this call, oh, that's why mom's face is blacked out. Okay, sorry, never mind. She just explained it to me. That's okay. But if you guys are on this call, you're part of our team, and we are lucky to have you guys. We are blessed to have you. And we absolutely love doing these calls with our team. I miss all of you from convention. Oh my gosh, we had the best time. And that's what we're going to be going over tonight is our convention recap. Katie, we might not go over all of convention recap, but we're going to go over a lot of it. Did you see my move there? We're going to go over a lot of it because we had just the best time at convention. And I see so many beautiful faces on this call that were there with us that I just had the best time with. That's one of the beautiful things about Plexus is how this business lets you reconnect with people. There was a girl there. She's on Sunday's team, but we went to high school with her. Me and Vicky and Jana and Randa. We went to high school with her. We hadn't seen her in years. And then like my friend Jessica, shout out Jessica Bingham, hadn't seen her since college. And she hasn't been on our team all that long. She came to convention and we had the best time together. So I absolutely love that, that part about Plexus, building relationships and just being with people, learning from people and loving on people. Let me get us started with a word of prayer and we're gonna jump right in this call. I'll go ahead and just pray for us real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for this time to get together with these wonderful people. Lord, we thank you for this gift called Plexus. Your word tells us that every good gift comes from above, and we believe that Plexus is a really good gift. And God, we just thank you so much for all that you're doing through Plexus, for the new Plexus charities, for all that we're doing with Feeding America. Lord, just everything. We just thank you so much for the heart of our company. Lord, we thank you just for this time to just be together tonight. We pray your blessing over this call. I pray that those that weren't able to make it to convention, Lord, walk away from this call with a sense of what convention was all about and make a commitment to be able to be there next year. Lord, we love you. We thank you and praise you for all that you are. In your name, amen. So like I said earlier, my name is Amber Livesey. I'm one half of the Slim Sisters team. My sister, Jana Hooten, is also on here. She's the other half. Shout out, Jana Beth Hooten. And our good friend, Dawn Hill, is going to start us off here in just a moment. Let me give you just a couple quick instructions on Zoom. If you can see us, we can probably see you too. If at any point you need to turn off your camera, please don't. It does get boring talking to little black boxes. But if you need to, there's a little video camera in your bottom right corner. Just click on stop video. I also have everyone muted right now. So speakers, when you start to speak, make sure you unmute yourself because otherwise we'll just see your mouth going. All right. So my friend Dawn Hill, she is okay, so Jana's friend Stephanie Erskine is Jana's level 1, and then Dawn is Stephanie's cousin, is Jana's level 2. She's a Sapphire Ambassador. She is, how many times were you up on that stage, girl? Like, you were owning this. It was like Dawn Hill, John Maxwell. They were on the stage, okay? I mean, I'm serious. She was owning the stage. She was up there constantly being recognized for her achievements at convention. And so that's why I wanted her to start this off and talk to us tonight. So Dawn, go ahead and unmute and share with us. I've asked her to talk about like what it's like a little bit as like the life of a jewel at convention, and also how to earn contests because the girl knows how to do it. So take it away, Dawn.
Okay. Hey guys, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry about that, but I am for some reason. So some of the fun things as a jewel ambassador is obviously the jewel lounge. You get to have a separate entrance. They have a jewel breakfast for you every year. You get a preview of the store before anybody else has to wait in line for 4 hours. It's amazing. It's a super exciting time to mingle with all of the people that you aspire to be like. But I think the most important thing, with all of that being said, the special things that you get to do is the relationships that you can build one-on-one. The learning that you can take, even if it's just 5 minutes from different diamonds, it is the most amazing time to just let them pour into you and the ideas that they have. And so I would encourage you to seek after that, because I have really found a lot of inspiration from that, more than just the liberties that you get as a jewel. So it's super fun. A little bit about the convention contest. I'm super excited this year. I obviously was nervous to make such a huge goal, but knew that I needed to try it. Year after year, I had watched these people cross the stage, and I decided that I was going to draw my line in the sand. I was going to get there. I didn't know what it was going to take, but I wanted to be there one day. So in January, right after Super Saturday, when they had given us all that IPA sheet as a tool from Super Saturday, I went to our store in Kearney and I had that copied. I did 365 days and I had it spiral bound. And that way I had a commitment to myself every single day. I had to fill that sheet out before I had to go to bed that night. Like, that was my challenge. I also knew that I needed to get 550 points per month to be able to hit the grand prize of convention credits. So I knew what I needed. For those of you that are not real red, maybe, I would suggest that, in the top corner, I would write down my points that day and how many convention credits I had earned. That way I had a tally of where I still needed to go. That's super big. If you don't have a goal, if you don't map out your goal, you'll never hit it. And it's super important. So I started right away messaging people. Now I'm a little crazy. If somebody tells me no, it's that much more inspiration for me until I can get them to say yes. So I don't give up on the no. I keep asking. I would keep asking like every other week, and just reaching out to that person, sharing different testimonials, sharing different tips about our products, because I knew that if I could get them to give me 60 days, these products would change their life. It's scary. I'll admit that. It's super scary to set after a big goal. But what I found was, when you question God's ability and all that He can do, you will constantly question and doubt yourself in your journey. It took me 2.5 years to get over that. So if I could give you any inspiration, don't doubt yourself and don't doubt where you can go in this company. It's wide open for growth. And I know that every single one of you could be on that stage. It was the scariest thing in the world, but I was just so thankful that I had the opportunity to even try it. The company is amazing and all that we can accomplish. Messaging people, be fearless in that. I kept, every day I would do a different verse, a different scripture to keep me motivated.
Hold on, Dawn. I think you should. Okay. Okay, there we go. Somehow, I don't know what happened. You went muted. Okay, go ahead. I heard different scripture.
Different scriptures, and just writing down different positive affirmations to yourself, because it's not just you that doubts yourself. I mean, even diamonds get scared, but mindset is a huge deal. So if you can train your mind, train your activity. I know that John Maxwell said, you can't manage your time. It goes on with or without you. So that's where the IPA sheet came in handy. I knew what I had to do, and I had to have it filled out every single day. So be willing to break some crazy goals to achieve your dreams. I think the biggest takeaway for convention for me was it didn't matter if it was out in the breakout sessions or whoever was training us at the time. If you have an endless amount of commitment, sacrifice, passion, and if you keep dreaming, you will achieve whatever you set out to. So I hope that helps.
Thank you so much, Dawn. That was awesome. I love that part about doubting God and what he can do. Man, I love your heart. I love your heart so much. I really appreciate that. And I know you said you probably have to jump off the call. She's got another event, Plexus event going on tonight. And that's another thing. This girl, I want you to do another call for us sometime and talk to us about events because she's killing it with events. And do you just call them events? Do you ever call them Sip and Seas, or y'all just call them your Plexus events?
We just call them events. There's two things I forgot to tell you. They were on my last page. I was trying to make sure I was under my time. I did January to the end of April. I did 94 events that I had tallied in those 4 months. So I was going everywhere. But the astounding thing to me was when I did my coaching call with Jake at the very end, he said, Dawn, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of you for crushing your goals and getting, all the credits. But he said, do you want to know what is surprising to me? He said, your biggest growth was your levels 4, 5s, and 6s.
Oh, wow.
So it was mind blowing. And I just think that had I known that, I mean, it's just amazing. So
let me ask you one more question. When you say those 94 events, mm-hmm. Are those all for potentials or some of those trainings for current ambassadors?
No, they're all potentials. So what I do, and Jeannie does this mostly with me, is we just ask different people to host an event and bring their potentials. We'll open it up to anybody that's in the area. So sometimes you might just have 3 people at the event, and sometimes we've had as big a groups as 20s and 25. So yeah.
And sometimes it's more fun when it's just 3 people. I
Yeah.
love that. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thanks.
Okay, my screen's moved here. There's Jana. Okay, next up, we have someone I've known for a while, since birth, actually, since I was born. And she came to the hospital and she stared in the window and she screamed, "Get my baby sister out of there!" Whoa. And she screamed, "Get my baby sister out of there." I don't know if you guys can hear me. We got some background noise, but and she's probably wanted to put me back a time or two, but that's okay. Jana, I love you, and we're super excited to hear from you. She's going to talk to us about one of our keynote speakers. Her name was Christy Wright. How many of y'all were crying like a Lifetime movie during Christy Wright? Oh my word. She spoke right to me, and I think she spoke right to a lot of people, all about mindset and all sorts of good stuff. So Jana, take it away.
Okay, can y'all hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or something so I know you're still with me. All right. So I'm excited to be on here. It's obviously been a while since I've been on a team call. So I felt like this was the best one to hop back in, and I'll talk more about that here in just a few minutes. I want to start off just by letting you know that anything that you feel like we left out about convention will get covered in the next few days on the team page. There was honestly so much information, not just information, inspiration, so much good stuff given to us that I feel like it's impossible to cover it all tonight on this call. So just be watching. Amber and I will be doing lives on the Slim Sisters team page because there's so much we need to cover. One of the lives I want to do very soon is covering the newest products, mainly the, well, I love Joyome. We've talked about it quite a bit too. By the way, no makeup tonight. Thank you, Joyome. And we've got the Slim HC, and we have got Lean. And guys, oh my goodness, I want to tell you, on a live here soon what if I could add one product to those two, what it'll be. But I'm not going to tell you tonight. You're going to have to wait and watch because I will do a live in the next day or two. So just know that if we don't get everything covered tonight, we will in the next few days. It's so hard to really convey everything that happened this past weekend. We can say here tonight and we can give you all the information, but you must plan on coming next year because it is so hard for us to convey the emotions and just the inspiration that happened this past weekend. This past Sunday, after convention was over, the Diamonds get to go to a Diamond meeting. And first, I want to just tell you about this Diamond meeting. It is not a Diamond like we all get together and we hear any great secrets, or we don't. Most of the time when you guys hear stuff, a lot of times that's the first time the Diamonds have heard anything as well. But what's cool about this meeting was all the executives are in there and we listened to them. But they listen to us. They want to know what we are thinking. They want to know what our biggest concerns are, what our biggest things are that we need them to hear from us. And that's what the meeting really was. But it turned into a meeting that was just the sweetest time of just such unity and a feeling of just mutual respect. But what I wanted to tell you was right before that meeting, I actually got there early. And I was standing outside the door waiting to go in, and Sonia Dudley was there. If any of you have been in Plexus for any amount of time, you know who Sonia Dudley is. If you don't, just go Google her. You'll find her on YouTube. She was the first person who trained Amber and I. When we got into this business, our upline was relatively new as well. We went on YouTube. We found multiple Sonia Dudley videos, and Amber and I set up in my living room for hours on end being trained by her. Now she's a friend, and she is one of the most amazing women. As we were sitting there waiting to go into the Diamond meeting, we got to talking about several things. We were talking about stuff. We were talking about Joyum. We were talking about our hair. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. And then it kind of turned not really serious, but we got to talking about some different people that were struggling, people that I know of that are struggling in this business. One person in particular, I kind of told Sonia the story. And she looked at me, and if you know Sonia, Sonia is a John Maxwell trainer. Sonia knows her stuff when it comes to training people at the heart level, not just training them with giving them all the knowledge, but she knows how to get to your heart and help you to get to your heart of what the problem is. And she looked at me, the doors had just opened, and she said, your friend is fearing something. There is a major fear she has, and that's what's holding her back. So when we talked about doing this call tonight, I knew I had to talk to you about fear. And if you were at convention, you know that that is what Christy Wright talked about as well. I read a graphic yesterday. It's kind of going around now. You might have seen it. It says, what if, the words what if equals fear, but the words even if equals faith. So I want you for just a second to imagine what would happen if we changed one word. Imagine if we changed the word what to the word even. What if they say no? What if we change that to even if they say no? What if they turn off their subscription? Even if they turn off their subscription? What if I don't reach that rank when I plan to reach it? Even if I don't reach that rank when I planned it? What if I don't earn that trip? Even if I don't earn that trip? What if my back office messes up? Even if my back office messes up? And what if I drop points and I fall below my rank? Even if I drop points and I fall below my rank? Well, Christy Wright spoke on fear, and I have to tell you, it really opened my eyes because fear is what is holding most of us back, period. You may not think it's fear, but if you dig deep enough, you'll find out that it is. So I want to read part of her speech to us. It's not long. It says, fear creeps into each part: marketing, selling, time management, guilt, how we spend our money. We shrink back and act sorry, and then others think we have something to be sorry for. Fear of failure, so we don't even try. Afraid of talking about money because you didn't grow up talking about it, so you don't make any. fear of being selfish or looking selfish. Fear is not from God and not for you and not the legacy you are going to build. And if you stay scared, you are going to stay stuck. So it doesn't matter where you are on this journey. It doesn't matter what rank. Fear will creep in if you allow it. And I think you heard Dawn mention that a minute ago, and I guess Dawn's already hopped off. I wanted to say something about Dawn. I'll say it at the end. She said, even diamonds get afraid sometimes. And yes, diamonds get afraid sometimes. And Christy said it perfectly when she said new levels just equal new devils. And it is so true. As you continue to grow in any area of your life, but in Plexus, there will be new things pop up that will create fear. And I want to ask you this question. Are you allowing one or two people to hold you back from helping hundreds? Think about that. Are you really allowing one or two people from holding you back from helping hundreds, even possibly thousands of people? That's fear. And Christy gave us 4 points, and I'm not going to go over, I might post these on the team page, but she gave us 4 practical things to push past fear. 1 was more confidence. Again, she gave lots more detail that I will post later. 2 was you need more information. 3, you need more inspiration. And 4, and the biggies to some people, is you need more discipline. So those were the 4 things that she gave us to help us fight fear. So I just want to share a little bit. I mentioned that I have not been on a team call in a long time. Many of you on here know my story. Some of you may be new, and I'm not going to go into a lot of details of my story. You can go to my personal Facebook page and scroll way back and read it. But 17 months ago, I lost my 16-year-old daughter in an ATV accident. And obviously, very sudden. It actually happened on Plexus Super Saturday, January 7th of 2017. So that's why I have it where I've been the last 17 months. And you've seen me a lot on team pages. It's a lot easier to type a post than it is to come to you face to face, only because I cry all the time. So when it came to rolling around to convention time, man, I struggled. And one of the main reasons I struggled was because we were actually going to be gone on what would be Allie's 18th birthday. So we went back and forth, and do we go or do we not go? And ultimately we made the decision to go, mainly because Orlando was one of Allie's very favorite places in the world. And if she could have spent her 18th birthday in Orlando, she would have. So that helped us to go. And man, I'm telling you, I am so thankful that I went, because God worked on my heart while I was there, and I needed it. Grief gets very lonely. And if you aren't careful, you get very recluse. And I'm not going to go into all that, but it's hard. So God worked on me while I was there. He knew I needed it. He knew I needed to be around people. And I can't say that there was necessarily a very specific moment or speaker that was just like a light bulb moment. There really wasn't. Even there was some days I'm sitting in there, tears are coming down. I'm going, why am I here? And then the next minute I'm going, I'm so glad I'm here. That's grief for you. It's just this roller coaster. But I can tell you, after several days out, I came away different. I came away not just inspired. Inspiration, I don't feel like lasts you forever. Neither does motivation. We need it. But I needed something that could help me change and help me feel like that made a difference, a genuine difference in my life. And that's how I felt about this year's convention. But I have to tell you, towards the end, I sat there at convention, and I thought to myself, I'm going to move on. So if you guys are okay, someday maybe I'll get on here and I'll just share my story and open up with y'all, and we can all cry and y'all can hear my story together. But I want you to hear the rest of what I have to say. I sat there at one point, I thought to myself, there is no reason why this team shouldn't have 25 jewels on the stage next year. Like, really, there's just not. There's no reason why we shouldn't have 50 promotions this month. I really do believe that with all my heart. I truly feel as though fear is what is holding us back. And it looks different in everyone. So that's why it's so important that you have to examine your heart and you have to see where the root is, where the fear is. Isaiah 26:3 says, you will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is steadfast because he trusts in you. It can also be translated, you will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is stayed on you. The person whose thoughts are consumed with God and his kingdom will have perfect peace instead of anxiety and worry and fear. And I have to say, I've got notes, and I have changed these notes so many times because I just haven't been extremely sure of what I was supposed to say to you. And I've been asking God just what it is I'm supposed to say. And I have to tell you that going through what I've gone through obviously changes a person. I heard someone say that you're not a product of, or you're not defined by your circumstances. And I agree with that to a point, but your circumstances, what you have been through, sure do make you who you are today. There is no choice, but they do change you. And one thing that I have noticed is I used to be an extremely fearful person of everything. Ask people who lived with me when I was a little girl, like just fear just consumed me. I have to say it feels so different now. I guess walking through something that is every mama's worst nightmare and going through it, it changes your perspective of fear. It changes my perspective of someone telling me no to Plexus. Like, okay, I can handle a no to Plexus, or I can handle someone leaving Plexus. Like, that's not really a fear. And so it's truly changed that. And I truly feel as though it's because, and like I said, I'm going off my notes here, so I apologize. But I feel like when you have a child that is now in heaven, your mindset is so different. My mind thinks of heaven on a regular basis. And I can't, honestly, as a believer and follower of Christ, I can't say that it did that before. I can't say that I was constantly had that heavenly mindset. So when I think about fear and why it's changed and how it's changed, the only thing right now at this stage of this process that I can come up with is that I know that this world is temporary. This world isn't my home. I'm not staying here forever. So what happens here and the things I have to go through here, and the discouragements and the things that might have scared me before just really aren't top of my list of concerns anymore, because I know the final outcome. And so I think when you can constantly, I'm sorry if I feel like I'm preaching a sermon, I'm really not meaning to, I just feel like I'm supposed to say this. When your mind can go to, when you have a constant God mindset and a God-centered mindset, it is going to be a heaven mindset. And you are going to remember what the final outcome is. And so tomorrow, then when you reach out to someone about Plexus and they tell you no, okay, I'm going to keep moving on. That's okay. It's really not that big of a deal, is it? When you know what the final chapter is. And this world isn't it, by the way. I want you to know that Plexus isn't necessarily my calling in life, and it's probably not yours. Selling supplements isn't necessarily my calling in life. I never was a little girl saying, I want to grow up and sell a multivitamin. Like, that's what I want to do. No, it wasn't. I don't even necessarily believe that it was necessarily what I was born to do. But changing lives and giving people hope is my calling. Being a wife and a mama and a missionary next door and around the world is my calling. And I want you to know that Plexus, though, is the vehicle that I'm going to use to fulfill my calling. And those callings that I mentioned, they don't have room for fear. There is no room for fear. I cannot fulfill my calling or callings that God has given me in life without my vehicle. And my vehicle is totally useless if fear is at the steering wheel. And it will be for you too. If fear is what is steering you, then you're never going to get across the street. You're just not. So I just want to encourage you, stop stuffing your dreams. Stop feeling like you can't fulfill the calling that God has given you. Stop letting fear control you, because it really does have no place in your life. Start dreaming big again. Start asking God to reveal to you where He wants you if finances truly were not an issue. Get to work. Use Plexus as your vehicle. Do your part to remove the fear and keep your mind stayed on God. And when the fear still creeps in, because it will, because we are human and we are not perfect. But when it still creeps in, I want you to do it scared. I want you to do it anyway, and I want you to do it scared. And I just want to end what I have to say tonight with the verse that Christy Wright gave, and what she ended with, and it's Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. You are a town built on a hill that cannot be hidden. The last thing I want to say is get to convention next year, because it will change your life. And that's all I got.
Jana, I have heard you do a lot of calls, and that is without a doubt the best. And I'm so proud of you. I'm not going to cry, because then we'll all start to cry and you won't like me to do that. But I'm so proud of you. I'm so absolutely proud of you. I want to pause real quick. This wasn't planned, but if there's anyone on this call and you don't know Jesus, that is a bajillion times more important than anything else we're going to talk about. And if you want to talk about that with anyone, you can message me. You can message Jana. There's tons of other people on our team you can message. We would love, 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 love to talk with you about that. And so, and don't worry, you're not going to ask any questions that are going to turn us off to wanting to talk to you. I promise. If you've got questions, just message us, and we'll do our very best to walk that path with you.
And I want to say something else real quick.
Yeah.
I meant to say this when I started my call, so somebody relay this to Dawn. I want to publicly praise Dawn, and we're going way off topic here, and I know I'm going too long, but you guys don't mind hanging around, do you? Because we've got some really good information still to come. Dawn Hill is the only person on this entire team that won every single prize at convention. She is the only one that won it. And I think you can see why. I think you heard her and you saw what her dedication and her discipline that Christy Wright talked about. And I think you see why she was the only person that won all the prizes. And I could not be more proud. She had her name in the drawing twice for that Yonder K vacation. And I was over the side just, Lord, please let her win. But she didn't win, but that's okay, because Dawn is a rock star without a vacation, and Dawn will be a diamond in Plexus. There's obviously no doubt in my mind that she will be, and we all can learn a lot from her. And I just wanted to publicly praise her because she deserves it. She really does. And so very, very proud of her, very proud of all of y'all just for hopping on and being here tonight. So
well,
there was something else.
Here's her heart too. She asked me, she said, do you know if they do draw my ping pong ball and I do win, can I give the trip away? I want to give it. She told me who she wanted to give it to. I was like, what? You want to give it away? You want to give it to someone? But that's her heart. And I think God honors that.
She was
what was number one of the 4 points from Christy Wright?
I'll post them on the Slim Sisters.
Okay.
I'll post all that on the Slim Sisters page. There was something else I was going to tell y'all, but I don't remember what it was now.
Okay. Shanna, thank you so much. And obviously, if you think of it, we'll pick it back up. Hold on. Mute. Okay. Next, we've got Katie Crispin. Katie, all I see is a black box right now.
Yeah, Katie actually messaged us. Amber, she asked for me to go next.
Oh, okay.
The little boy woke up. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Randa Blackley.
People in front of me until you see my face, is what she said.
Randa, I asked her, so Randa and I have known each other since we were about 4 years old. And I don't know that we've laughed as hard as we did together the other night at that silent disco. We had so much fun. I asked Randa two Baptist girls in there trying to dance. Randa's got some moves. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where she learned them from, Linda, but she's got some moves. But I asked Randa to talk about all the fun of convention, which I know to some of you guys, you're going like, really, I'm gonna go there just for the fun. And some of you, like me, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go there just for the fun, because it seriously is an absolute blast. And Randa also earned Consistency Club. Everybody go, what? I mean, that's awesome. So super proud of you. We were in there dancing and I saw your lanyard. This said Consistency Club. And I was like, Randa, what's up? So I want you to talk a little bit about the fun and Consistency Club. And if you have this down in your notes, talk about what they're doing, how they're enhancing Consistency Club even more.
Okay. So first of all, I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that I had earned the 300 Consistency Club, because I honestly, the ones that earned the 500 and 700 and, higher and stuff, I thought that they were the ones that won the prizes. It just had been a long time since I had looked to see what you earned with that exactly. Cause I know Julie King's on here. She earned the 500. And, so anyway, to say the least, I was shocked when they put it on my thing, and I actually won something, which I never win anything. And so I got this really cool Plexus wallet, and then I got $50 cash. So I was wow. Okay, so and really the 300 Consistency Club, what that was you had to have one new preferred customer that ordered $50, or you had a new ambassador with a welcome pack, and then you had to have at least 300 PV for 7 out of 11 months. And honestly, guys, I wasn't trying to earn the 300 club, obviously, but I was just trying to be consistent. And so I can honestly say that consistency paid off, and I had no idea. The other thing is that what I love about these clubs that they do, these consistency clubs, is that it prepares you. It tests you. It kind of gets you ready for earning things like prizes at convention, for earning things like leaders retreat. So I got up to 600 points for convention, but now I know that I need 900 points for leaders retreat. So I'm like, shoot, if I got to 600, I can get to 900. So all of this just really helps prepare you and kind of test you to see what you can do. So rise to the challenge and go for it. So it's just really, really neat. I'm sure we have others on here that earned Consistency Club, but I haven't paid attention to what the new things are for the all the new things they put on it. But the prizes are awesome. Really, really cool prizes. I want the Beats, so I'm going for that. What is that? The 500? Is that the 500 club?
That was 700, I believe. Beats headphones or an iPad.
Yeah.
And they've got the Plexus logo on them.
I want the Beats. But yeah, I mean, it's just really cool. It's a good little, goal for you to go for. So really
tell us one more time the requirements for 300 Consistency Club, because I feel like everyone on this call, even if you're just getting started, this could be a goal for you. Tell us one more time those requirements.
You had to have either a retail preferred customer that equaled an order of 50 PV, or it could be a new ambassador with a welcome pack. And then you had to have at least 300 PV. Okay. I mean, it's not hard
to start setting. So
if I can do it, any of you can do it. Trust me. So yeah, and then you had to do that 7 out of 11 months. So it's super, super possible for everybody. Very achievable. The silent disco. So listen, I got a little video to play.
Oh my word. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of footage there of Dancing with a Diamond. My team was super excited. They got to dance with a diamond that night.
Dawn says I'll play.
It was so much fun. And listen, those girls that you saw in the video, that's my team, but those are my church girls. I go to church with all of them, Dawn, JL, and Ty. And y'all, we've never cut a rug like that together before. And it was so fun. I feel like I'm closer with my girls from church. And I think they can say the same thing. But one of the things that just, my brain works in weird ways, but one of the quotes that they really drove home, when was the last time that you did something for the first time? That was, I had never done that before. And so, just sometimes there's things that that scare you, like Jana was talking about, and you miss out on a huge opportunity when you step back and stay in your comfortable space. And we were one of the first people that went into the silent disco room. And so we walked in, we were like, what is this? Like, we just didn't get it at first. And then when everybody started coming in, the more people that were joining in, then we got the big picture. So it just was a perfect picture of what Plexus is you're scared, you kind of come in there by yourself, you're not sure how it works, but then the more people that join in and the more you just let loose and just let your arms fly and your feet go, you have a blast. So it was a lot of fun.
That's a great analogy. I love that, Randa. So this was during the dessert reception. So one night they have a dessert reception. It's for everyone. And they have this silent disco. Silent disco, you walk in, they give you a pair of headphones. There's 3 colors that light up on your headphones, red, blue, or green. There's 3 DJs in the room, red, blue, or green. And you can switch your headphones to whichever DJ you want to listen to. And so Randa would turn it to blue and I'd be on green and she'd be like, oh my gosh, go to blue. And, Whitney Houston would be belting out, I want to dance with somebody or something, or Spice Girls or something stupid. And then next door, they had an 80s room. You go in and hear the DJ just play 80s music. Then next door down, they had a live band. I mean, it was seriously so much fun. Then they have another event called Winner's Dinner that you can earn. They have the gala that you can earn. I mean, and then forget even going to any event. You can just get with a group of your people like we did on the last night and laugh your faces off and just have so much fun because you're all in this thing together. And this was a fun convention. I can't say that enough. So for all of you like me, you blue personalities and you're like, I just want to be in it for the fun. Believe me, we got you covered. And in the process, you're going to change some lives and make some moolah. Okay, so next up, I want to go to Lexi. I asked Lexi, so on the last day of convention, the last morning, we all go to like our split sessions. There's ambassadors and silvers, there's golds and senior golds, rubies and senior rubies, so on and so forth. And Lexi was in the gold and senior gold. And I felt like some of the things that I heard that were talked about in this session would be super applicable to where a lot of you guys are in your teams right now. So I want Lexi to share with us a few minutes about that gold and senior gold session.
Okay, so when Amber asked me to do this, I told her that I literally couldn't write fast enough. So I've got a lot of information, so I'm going to throw a lot at you really quickly. Good thing this is recorded and you can go back and watch if you need to, because there's going to be a lot. But I think it's all really important. I've tried to condense literally all afternoon, and there's a lot. Like she said, my name's Lexi. I'm a senior gold from Wahoo, Nebraska. And this was my 4th convention. So my first convention takeaway the whole convention is go to convention. If you haven't heard that yet, you need to go. Absolutely no excuses. I went 29 weeks pregnant and absolutely don't regret it. I won't ever miss a Plexus event. just don't count on it. So I got to hear from Rhonda Shaw on mindset, Melissa Eichenhorst on the business, and Julia Carty on the legacy team. I think we all had those same 3 sections. But so Rhonda Shaw on mindset, I have 2 kind of points from her. So you have those people, and this is so it's so uplifting. So I don't want to bring it down at all, but I just felt like this was really important. So you have those people that you talk to, or you're going to go into a meeting with, and you just know that you're going to come out drained and discouraged, and you're going to have to call someone to bring you back up. And you also have those people that you talk to or meet with, and they absolutely inspire you. They fire you up. You're ready to work when you leave them. So she talked about these 2 different kinds of people, and then she turned it around and she said, okay, so now think about it. Which one are you? Are you draining people, or are you filling people up and leaving them so that they are ready to work and that they are fired up? So I thought that was a really good thing just to keep in the back of your mind that don't be a drain. No one wants to spend time with a drain. The other thing is to keep your eye on the prize, but keep in mind also that that's not always a rank. She told us, Ruby is not going to make you happy, and Diamond is not going to make you happy. You have to look for joy in the right places along your journey. So I thought those were 2 really good things on mindset. I have 3 things on business from Melissa Eichenhorst. This first one, I was like, holy light bulb. So she said, logistically, if you can make it to gold, you can make it to diamond. Gold is the hardest rank logistically, because when you rank silver, you have 15 points logistically in your organization. You have 3 personally sponsored ambassadors, 15 points. To go gold, you have to multiply 7 times, which actually puts us at 105 points, but hey, we're overachievers here and whatever. So you have to go 7 times from silver to gold. After you hit gold, you never have to go that many. You never have to multiply that many times again. You either go by 2.5 then to senior gold, then you go by 2 to ruby. You never have to go by 7 again. That's the hardest rank, and you're more than likely by yourself at that rank too. It's very uncommon to have another person who's wanting to build the business at that point as well. Literally, if you can get to gold, you can get to diamond. And then from then on, it's not easy, but logistically it's easy. Another business tip is don't reinvent the wheel, even though it's tempting. If you're spending time trying to reinvent the wheel, you are spending your time on busy work that is preventing actual income producing activity. So stop trying to reinvent the wheel. You have the tools in place, just get to work. Kind of along that line is the duplication. Thanks to Plexus, they have all of these resources for us that are all compliant. Yay! And also readily available, and they're available to me, they're available to you, they're available to Jana, they're available to a brand new ambassador. And that is your 64 contacts worksheet, your IPA worksheet, and the shareables. So with the 64 contacts and the IPA worksheet, the big things there were print them out. She said, I promise probably 80% of you, and I think she actually raised it to 90% by the time we were done talking about this. She said, haven't printed it off. And she said, I bet if you haven't printed it off, you aren't actually doing it because you don't have something to fill out. So printing them off is super, super important, and filling them out intentionally every day. She said, especially the top portion of the IPA worksheet is a non-negotiable every day if you are intentional about this business. Same thing with the shareables that are in the back office. They're duplicatable. Everyone can go back there and click share, and the product information sheets and all of that. Don't assume that people know about them. Let your people know that they're back there, but utilize them. They're there for our use. Julia Carty on legacy team. These were a couple things that really hit home with me too. Your team is a diluted version of you. So more is caught than taught, and they're simply watching you. So just something to keep in mind. The other thing is, she said at Gold, Senior Gold, you are a leader, and it is time to start leading and not depending on an upline, a sideline, or someone else to do it for you. You're a leader, so get to leading. There was a lot of toe stepping on that she did, but it was all so good. One of the other things she said is to keep recruiting. Sponsoring is the easy part, even though it seems like it takes months or weeks or years or whatever. Sponsoring them is the easy part. It's showing them the way that's the hard part. Sticking with them and getting them on their products the right way, and getting them, showing them where all these resources are and showing them the way. Kind of similar along that line is your warm market. I know I've heard a lot of times, well, I've talked to everyone. My warm market is tapped. I have no more people to talk to. Your warm market is never tapped. She literally laughed at us at that point. And there is the post that's going around on the team pages. I'm not sure if I've seen it on Slim Sisters, but if it's not, I can send it to Amber and Jana, but it's to print your Facebook list and how to go through literally every person and code it. And make sure that you've talked to every single person on your Facebook list. Because every time you go on Facebook to your friends list, it reshuffles your friends. So if you have a list printed off that you're coding, you can make sure that you hit every single person. The other thing that is making your warm market never tapped is we just had 3 new products released. So you have a reason to go back to everyone who's told you no. Your warm market's not tapped. Don't say that. Also regarding your team, this was a really good benchmark that she gave us that I just want to pass along, that your general goal regarding activity should be to increase your points by 20% every month. So you take your May points times 1.2, and that should be your June goal. And obviously with the attrition and the movement of how things go, that's not, an every month kind of thing, but it's a good goal to stand by. And then she said, create a BSG or a big scary goal. And she said typically what she likes to do for that is double it and make that 40%. A 40% increase is your big scary goal when 20% is hopefully your norm. And then to tell your upline and sideline those goals, upline and or sideline, or tell everyone, I don't care, to hold you accountable. Okay, I have 3 more things. I don't know if I'm close to my time, but I will hurry. We did a Q&A at the end. Someone asked about retaining people and reducing attrition. And the 3 points to that were understand why they joined. Why are they here? The second one was a in-house kind of study that Plexus did that ambassadors who are signed without a subscription on are typically gone in 30 to 60 days. So that's an in-house Plexus. I was like, oh my word, that is huge. Without a subscription, if they are signed without a subscription, they are typically gone in 30 to 60 days. Probably because they weren't consistent on their products, because they didn't have their subscription signed up. So we push subscriptions hard over here. The other flip side of that is getting someone to silver in their first month will typically keep them with you for 9 or more months. So that's why going silver is so huge. On time management, I'm pretty sure it was Rhonda that stood up and talked about this for the Q&A. She said balance is a myth. If you think that you can balance your time, it's absolutely a myth. You can't. Don't even try. You can't do it all, so you need to do what's important. And I know that John Maxwell talked about the 80-20. I'm sure somebody else will touch on that, but that was really, really good as well. But she said, like, if your laundry is done and your house is clean and spick and span, you're avoiding working. So stop doing that. And things that you are prioritizing that are not helping you reach your goals need to be reprioritized. So I thought that was really good. And then my last thing is follow-up. We touched a little bit on follow-up just in general. And really what they said is find a system that works and stick with it. Quit jumping from system to system and trying to recreate a wheel. She said, literally go to the Target Target store dollar section and get a planner or a calendar and write the names in the box and be done with it. Stop trying to find some amazing system that's going to work or not work. That's all I have. There's literally so much, and I can't even tell you how much I can't even get through to you because there was so much, so you just have to go.
Yes, I agree. And Lexi, can I just say, I don't know if it's the Joyome or the pregnancy, but you're absolutely glowing. You look adorable, BT dubs. The biggest takeaway I just got was to stop doing laundry. Who's with me? No, I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. I loved everything you just said. You're avoiding work. If everything else seems to be in line and in order, you're avoiding this for whatever reason. And by the way, that all goes back to what Jana talked about with the fear. Mm-hmm. What is that fear holding you back? Is it fear of making money? Is it fear of not being successful? Is it fear of being successful? Like what is that fear? I absolutely love that, Lexi. Thank you so very much. Okay, we're going to go back to Katie. And I meant to say this earlier. Randa, when you were talking and we could hear the horn honking, it literally like you were saying bad words and someone was trying to bleep you out. That's what it made me think of. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but that's what I thought. Okay, Katie Crispin. Let me find you on my screen. There you be, girl. Okay, this girl, this is why I wanted her to talk. I was sitting with her and some other gals and my husband, bless him. He was just with women all week. I was sitting there and a light bulb went off because I remembered hearing about this girl last year before Leaders Retreat, but I really got to know her this year at convention. And I remembered someone telling me, it was either Amy or it was her direct upline, Julie McNeely, telling me, I got a girl coming and she earned Leaders Retreat. She signed up, and from the time she signed up till the time she earned it, it was 2 months. She had 2 months to earn it, and she did it. And so how many of y'all were so pumped when you saw where Leaders Retreat's going to be at this year? You guys, it's a cruise. If you've never been on a cruise before, get ready to be spoiled like never before. You're going on a cruise to the Bahamas, okay?
And you know what, Amber? And Jules can't earn the cruise.
Yes. So that's like 600 people. That's like 600-700 people that won't be in your way in line of earning the cruise, okay?
We are jealous of you, so you guys better be there and represent the Slim Sisters.
That's right. You better. I know Jana and I were talking about, well, what would stop us from like getting a hotel room and just going to be near our teams just so we could hang out with them? And then they're like, we're going on a cruise. I'm like, I'm not going to be paddling alongside them in a canoe. So I guess y'all just have fun on the cruise and let us know how it is. But I wanted Katie to talk about this, talk about a little bit about how she earned it last year, what her plans are for this year, because I know from talking to Katie, this is doable for every single person. You could have someone sign up tomorrow and they could be on that cruise in October. Okay? Katie, I love you, dear. Take it away.
Right. Well, hey, y'all. I am Katie Crispin, and I am in South Carolina, and I am a Gold Ambassador. And so I just wanted to share with you just a couple of action steps to get to Leaders Retreat. So first of all, show of hands, who's going? Who's going to be there? Yes. Awesome. Awesome. All of you, we're all going. So I want to share with you 4 points that really I think is going to help us get there. And I'm going to say them first, and I'm a pedal to the metal kind of person. So because my little 3-year-old might walk in at any moment with his blonde hair and blue eyes and say hi and take over. So I'm going to try to say my piece before he comes in. Number 1 is going to be you can. Number 2 is you decide. Number 3 is what you need to do. And 4 is what you need to remember, okay? And I'll go back through those in my 5 to 7 minutes that Amber gave me. So just to tell you a little bit about me, I started products in April of 2017. Was a closet plexus person, like many of you are, or were, not are, were. And so I finally made my first post the last weekend in May. I believe it was Memorial Day. I made my first ever post, and then really started working the business. Because after I made that first post, people were like, wow, Katie, what are you doing? And like many of you, fell into the business. Didn't want it, but fell into it. And so June of, the very first week in June is when I started sharing. All I saw was this unbelievable place that I could go. And when I have a goal in mind, I set my mind to it and get to that finish line. So I just started sharing, and like Amber already shared with you, made it in about 2 months, and was at my very first ever Plexus event. Had never been to convention, never Super Saturday. My very first Plexus event was Leaders Retreat in Orlando this past October. And y'all, just like I think Randa or Lexi said, I ain't never missing another one, okay? Because Plexus does it right. In my former life, before children, I was an event planner, and I planned big events for thousands of people. And when I saw the Plexus event, I was blown away, just their attention to detail. So right then and there, I vowed never to miss another event. So that brings me to point number 1. You can. Anybody. I wasn't even a silver, guys, when I started sharing and putting my mind. I was just an ambassador to get there. And so anyone can achieve this from June 1st to August 31st. 900 points, okay? And as Janet and Amber said, no Jules can attend. So that opens it up for all of us. Anyone can achieve this, okay? Brings me to number 2, you decide. Something, and there were just a million just golden nuggets. So if you can't write fast enough, then hit record, because there are a million golden nuggets that was shared that I believe, we are meant to share with those of you that weren't there. But you decide, and here's this quote: sacrifice things in your life early on so that you can succeed later and see the payoff long term, okay? We aren't entitled to success, guys. We are going to, and I did, when I started working, I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old little boys. My husband travels. He's traveling in Canada right now. We have to sacrifice and set aside intentional times. But the payoff for that, guys, is what we really have to recognize. And so this is one thing, and Jenna might have said this, but it was a light bulb to me. It is your personal, internal struggles that are dictating your circumstances. So that goes back to fear, right? And the circumstances that we are in, we have total control of that. No excuses. If you want it, do it, okay? And so those were just some little tidbits that really stood out to me. And the last 3 things, and John Maxwell said this, is what's it going to be? It's called the 3 R's. What is required of me, what gives me my greatest return, and what gives me my greatest reward. What is required, what is the greatest return, and what is the greatest reward. So that goes back to what I believe Lexi says about filling our calendar. If you don't fill your calendar, someone else is going to fill it for you. And then, there's your time. So moving on, I said I was a pedal to the metal kind of girl. So what do we need to do? We know that we can. We've decided that we're going to. Now, what do we need to do? Right now, you don't need to train. We know that this business is a lot about personal growth and learning and developing ourselves into leaders. We ain't got time for that right now, guys. It's about reach out, follow up, reach out, follow up, reach out, follow up. What's it about? Reach out, follow up, okay? We only have a small period of time, so we need to be utilizing that time for continuing, sharing messages. And don't make it hard. We always make it hard, guys. I know I sometimes I want the correct verbiage, or Susan, you may have seen my Facebook post of late. Have you tried the pink drink? Or, Gloria, I know that we haven't connected as of late, but we have, 4 awesome new products. Can I send you a sample? Don't make it hard, just keep it simple. The other thing too, guys, and I will post this is going to be gold, okay? This is going to be gold. Has anybody seen this yet? This, I don't know if y'all, hands up or hands down, I don't know if y'all seen this yet or not. Okay, this is your Leaders Retreat contest tracker. There was one similar to this for last year's Leaders Retreat. Basically what it is, and you can't see it, so I'll message it in the comments. It has how many points that you need by a certain date. So it's a point tracker. I still have mine from last year, and it's tattered and beat up and old, but this is how I got there, because I kept track of exactly where I was. And so that, I'll put that in the comments. That was going to be so helpful for you. Events, we've already talked about that. Have in-person events. My sponsor, Julie McNeely, is incredible. She has a 100%, y'all, 100% signing rate when she meets someone face to face, okay? And so I'm telling you, messages are great, but when you receive that second message of someone being, interested, say, hey, send me your number. I want to talk to you on the phone. Get them on the phone or in person, and that is just going to increase your chances so much. Okay, so I stayed up thanks to Joy Ohm, you really can't see my little bags, but I stayed up to 2 a.m. last night, guys, because I had finally decided that I was going to do it. I was going to push for Leaders Retreat. And how, because there's all different ways. If y'all have seen this, I'm sure you've seen this because this has been posted on Slim Sisters page. There's different ways that you can track of getting there. Partial PV, ambassador, all that. So what really stood out to me is developing silvers. So that's going to be huge. And what that means for any newbies is you help your level 1s, level 2s, level 3s get 3 friends. That's it. Get 3 friends. That's going to be huge in points. And so that was my way of getting there. And so the next to last thing is small goals build big belief. 900 points, y'all, it's way up here. But you know what? This little step right here, I can do tomorrow. So instead of seeing the big staircase, take it one step at a time. And before you know it, you're going to be at the top, guys. You're going to be on the Legacy cruise ship, okay? Number 4, I want to end on this. What do you need to remember? As y'all can tell, does anybody know what color or what 2 colors that I probably am, okay? It's no secret. I am a red and I am a blue. I am a goal-driven, contest-winning, party-loving Plexus gal, okay? That's who I am. But you know what? I need to remember, and this quote really spoke to my heart. Jesus just spoke to my heart when someone said this quote from Francis Chan, and I want to end on this. Do you know that nothing you do in this life, do you know that nothing you do in this life will ever matter unless it is about loving God and loving the people that He has made? So guys, what that says to me is that if I'm, sitting and cruising and enjoying, on this legacy, but I have not shown the love of Christ to those people that He put in my path, and that I did not, be that light, to others, then it doesn't matter. It's all for naught. And so I am so thankful to be on this team. I'm so thankful for great leadership in Janet and Amber and the leadership of our company that shines Christ and our Heavenly Father and all that He does, all that we do. But I'm excited to be at Leaders Retreat this year. I'm already working, and I'm excited for each one of you guys to be there with me.
I love that, Katie. I love how you've already owned it. I'm excited to be at Leaders Retreat. It's not, I'm going to be excited if I get it. It's no, I'm excited that I'm going to be there. And I saw several faces when you said you're from South Carolina. I go, okay, we get it. We get it. We knew you weren't from like Long Island or anywhere. But gosh, I love so much of what you just said. And I want y'all, so many of you guys, and this is gonna kind of lead into our last topic here. My friend Amy was gonna get on here, and she had something come up and couldn't make it. So real quick, I know we've gone over time. I'm recording for those that had to go ahead and get off, but I wanna talk to you just a little bit about our new products and a little tiny bit about John Maxwell. And I may go live on our team page, and I'm sure Jana will too, to talk more about his. Our new products are lean. It is a chocolate mocha meal replacement. Okay, listen, I kind of, sort of, maybe like coffee. Sometimes I just drink it. I don't know why. But if it's not the color of my skin, I can't drink it. I'm just not as much of a woman as my mama. She'll drink it black all day long. But she and my daddy were at a restaurant one time, and the waitress said, "How do you like your coffee?" And mom said, "Oh, we're both black." And the waitress was really confused by that. But anyways, it doesn't have a strong coffee flavor to it, in my opinion, from someone who's not a big coffee lover. It doesn't. It has a great flavor. I loved it when we tasted it. Ours should be here in the mail any day. We got like that much of a sample of it, and the taste of it is so good. I had it tasted in almond milk. I know some of y'all tasted it made with water. It is a meal replacement, okay? And for every single, notice I don't say every single bag, I say for every single serving of Plexus Lean that is sold, there are 14 servings in a bag. For every single serving that is sold, Plexus is donating 1 meal to Feeding America. Y'all, that is huge. We were at convention. I don't have enough time to keep talking about all this, but we were at convention. They donated $100,000 to Feeding America. Hunger in our country is unfortunately a very real and sad thing. It's an epidemic in my opinion, and Plexus is taking the bull by the horns and doing something about it. I posted on my personal page today about when Marianne was talking about Feeding America, and they went in and we heard from Christopher Pear, and then they donated the money to Feeding America. So if you want to, go to my personal Facebook page. If you weren't there live to see it, you can see that when they donated that money. It was an incredible moment. We've officially launched Plexus Charities, and Feeding America is at the top of that list. So order your lean, and know that when you do it, not only are you helping yourself, but you are also helping with this great cause with Feeding America. It's huge, you guys. Are y'all excited about that? Like, that pumped me up to see our company as a whole do something so big to give back. Guys, that's not typical. There's so many things about Plexus that are not typical. When Jana was talking about the diamond meeting and how it was just a sweet time, I remember Alex said, Jana at the end actually said, like, we want to, in front of everybody, she said, we want to do this more often. The only time that all the diamonds are together is in Maui and at the end of convention. And in Maui, we're like, can we please leave this meeting because my husband's at the pool, right? Like, we want to all be together. We want to learn from each other. We want to love on each other. And Alex said, this floors me. There are companies that are structured like ours, and the top earners in the company can't stand to be in a room together because they're competing so hard against each other. Okay, you guys, that's the heart of our company. Feeding America, giving back is the heart of our company. I hope you guys get that. Marianne said, we are the health, the happiness, and the heart company. And I love that. I love that. So Plexus Lean, it's delicious. It is a meal replacement. Jonathan and I, when we get ours, we've already committed. We're doing this thing. We're losing some weight. How many of y'all want to jump on that train with us? Okay, anybody out there? I'm thinking about starting a Slim Sisters group where it's just all about us running full force, holding hands together, losing this weight with lean and with Slim Hunger Control. How many of y'all had Slim Hunger Control? You've tried it. It's delicious. It tastes like a Sonic cherry limeade. I mean, it really is so good. It's the best flavor, hands down, we've ever had. And the name in and of itself, Hunger Control, that's exactly what it does. Now, here's something I want you guys to think about, and I want you guys to really be pushing. We've got these 2 new products. Listen to the names of them. Plexus Lean, Plexus Hunger Control. I don't know who came up with these names, but I want to go give them a big old hug, because just those 2 names in and of itself are going to get people's attention. You guys, weight loss is everywhere, okay? And we have got tools now that are specific for losing weight. They are specific. Lean and Hunger Control, they target that audience. Okay, remember that as you're promoting them. It's not just another flavor of Slim. It is Slim Hunger Control. If you just type out Slim HC on your personal page, others aren't going to know what that means. Make sure you're letting them know this is called Hunger Control. And then last but not least, we've got Joyome. Are you loving it? I know I am. I just sounded like an infomercial. I don't know why. I know I am. Send it back to you in the studio. Anyways, I love Joyome. You guys, there are only 11 ingredients in these products. Let that sink in for just a minute. There are only 11 ingredients in these products. I cannot present these like Dr. Sarvanan Zand can, okay? I'm not even gonna try. She's too good at it. But I am going to be posting on our Slim Sisters page. I have to kind of scale it down a little bit and maybe post it in snippets. When she spoke at convention, I couldn't get it to go live, but I'm gonna post it on there when she spoke at convention, because her information is so right on and so spot on. She is a world-renowned dermatologist, you guys. She's famous for dermatology, and she is She's on the Joy train, okay? She is. Let that sink in. Last but not least, like I said, I was going to talk to you a little bit about what John Maxwell talked about. I'm going to leave you with one thing he talked about. And as we've been going through this call, I'm like, how do I trim this down so much? Here it is. And I'm not going to say it exactly like he did, but he said to the effect of, she said that he said, everyone's waiting to get on a call. Everyone's wanting to get on a call to know how to do things. I want to get off the call and get to work. Okay? Some of you guys, I may step on some toes here. Some of you guys are sitting right here in your head going, man, this call has been fantastic. I wonder when they're having another one. I wonder when the next one will be. Here's my challenge to you. Don't worry about it. Either A, don't worry about when the next one will be, or B, host your own. Get your own team on a call. Host a call for potentials. For some of you guys, it is time to stomp out that fear that Jana talked about and to move forward and to go, okay, I've been pedaling in this thing long enough. We've got all these amazing new tools in our tool belt. I'm going to utilize them. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to make this business work for me. You will get out of this what you put into it. Okay? I saw that this week with so many of you at convention. You were being poured into, and you were just bursting at the seams to give it back out. And I see it on this call with those of you that couldn't be at convention. And right now you're just like, man, I'm ready to charge the world with this thing. Like Jana said, this is probably not your calling. Okay. But this can be a vehicle for your calling. This can be the vehicle that funds your calling. Terry Paxton was called to build an orphanage in India. Terry Paxton couldn't have done that if it weren't for Plexus. Let that sink in. An orphanage for 25 babies. They're not babies, they're children, but I just call them all babies. But in India, have a home now because of Plexus. Okay, think about what you could do. And I'm not even just talking about the money. Think about the new people you can meet. As we've been sitting here on this call, I got a private message from someone wanting to talk to me about Jesus because of Plexus. Okay, think about all the new people that you can meet that can open the door for you to just love on people. At the end of the day, that's what we're all about. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, y'all that weren't at convention, I'll get on and do some lives, and I'm sure Jana will too, and some others will too, about more of what John Maxwell talked to us, because it was good. It was like, as I described it, a fireplace should have been behind him. He probably should have had a pipe in his hand, and we were all sitting at his feet going, tell me more, Grandpa, because it was just so good. I mean, we were just learning from the best of the best on leadership. He talked about several of his books. If you don't have some John Maxwell books, I highly recommend them. I know I brag on this lady all the time, and you guys probably get tired of it, but I've asked my buddy Terry Paxton to close us in prayer. And I actually asked her when Jana was talking, because I know how much Jana loves Terry, and I love Terry, and we just, I don't know, I just love hearing her pray and talk to Jesus. So Terry, if you will just go before the throne for us and close us out in prayer. And those of you that want to, we'll stay on for an after party.
After parties are always good. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Goodness gracious. What an evening. What an opportunity to just, like Amber said, come before your throne and just be on our knees and just hold our hands out and just soak in all the love that you have for us, that has been shared through every single gal that has shared words from what they experienced from convention. Lord, I just praise you and I thank you for this opportunity. Right now, I thank you for technology, for an opportunity that people all over our country can come together and just be filled up. Lord, we know that it comes from you. We don't take this gift for granted, and we know it is not an accident, but it is pure your appointment that we are all here tonight. Lord, I pray for the people that aren't on this call, that are going to watch it later, that this call would be multiplied in hearts, that it would go with without any hindrance, that it would go into the hearts of other people that need to hear more about you and about the gift that you have given us using this company of Plexus. Lord, I thank you for the leadership of Amber and Jana, the godly women that they are, Lord. Oh, Jesus, I praise you for their friendship. I praise you for their example. I praise you for their love for others, their compassion, their passion, their commitment. Father, I just praise you for that entire family. Lord, I praise you for our company, for our leadership from the top all the way down. Without a doubt, we know that it is a gift that you have given us. Lord, help us to be stewards, to be good stewards. We know that we need to be good stewards of our money and our time and our talent that you have given us. But Lord, challenge us to be more for you, that we wouldn't take it for granted, that we could spread the word, that we would further your kingdom, and that we would always bring you glory, and that we would always bring you honor in our words and our action. Father, I praise you and I thank you. I pray for restful nights for every single person that is on this call. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen and amen.
Love you guys so very much. We are, like I said, we'll go ahead and stop the recording and stop the call, but I'll stay